1,000 people. They have 32,000 migrants put into the town almost overnight. And the people are so nice. You know, they want to be nice. They say, well, the mayor is actually looking for interpreters. He's looking all over for interpreters because they can't understand. The language is totally different. What the hell? I'm sorry. You have to move the people back to the country from which they came. You have to. You have to. Every state is a border state now. When she speaks, I hope everybody remembers that she has caused our cities, our towns, and our country itself tremendous damage. Our country is dying. Our country is dying. We're taking all the criminals from all over the world. You know, the crime rates for countries all over the world is way down because they've taken the citizens of their countries have demanded it. They're taking the criminals out and they're moving them and dumping them into the United States of America, and their crime rates are cut in half and less than that. And their jails, which were packed, in many cases are close to empty and very soon will be totally empty because they've taken their prisoners and they've dumped them into the United States of America. We're like a dumping ground, and we're not going to allow it. We're bringing them back. We're bringing them back. And by the way, you know, this is a speech on economic development, but this is a big part of economic development. We can't have factories being built where you have criminals walking down the street with the worst weapons that you've ever seen, with machine guns and everything else. We can't have it. We have to have a safe country, because if you don't have a safe country, everything I talk about today, you can reduce very substantially. So number one, we're going to make America safe, because we have to have a safe country or nobody's going to want to come here. And with her, she doesn't know what the word safe is. You know, she was the head of Defund the Police. Anybody that heads up Defund the Police is not qualified to be a president of the United States. And anybody that lies, like she lies about everything. She changed 15 policies. Now, I've watched politics for a long time. I've been involved on the other side for a long time with helping people out. But I've watched for a long time, and I've seen people change 1 or 2 policies. But I've never seen people change 15 policies. She wants to confiscate your gun. Now she said, oh, I won't do that. She wants to have no fracking. She's 100 times no fracking. There will be no fracking in Pennsylvania, right? No fracking. Now she's saying, oh, I'd love to have fracking. But, you know, they always go back to where they were. They always go back because that's it. She's a Marxist philosophy. Her father is a Marxist philosopher, and he taught her well. And that's what you got, and you can't have that. Our country is not ready for this and hopefully never will be. Kamala's, remember one other thing, and I think it's terrible. She lied about McDonald's. She said, I was a worker in McDonald's. And I stood over the French fries. I'm going to a McDonald's over the next 2 weeks. And I'm going to stand over the French fries because I want to see what her job really wasn't like, because she never. I stood over the French fries, and that was tough. It was hot outside, and it was hot over. She never worked there. It was a lie. And when I asked her at the debate, I said, I want to talk about this. ABC said, you know, ABC, which is the worst of them all, by the way. Did you see that David Muir's ratings are way down? I love that, because he lost his credibility. I love it. Kamala's illegals are also crushing your wages and stealing your jobs. Last month alone, think of this, American-born workers lost 1.3 million jobs, and migrants gained 635,000 jobs. So we're putting our migrants to work at a much higher level than our own people, our own citizens. So as we create millions of new manufacturing jobs here in Georgia and nationwide, we will make sure that these jobs go to American citizens, not illegal citizens, people that came into our country illegally. Your wages will rise, your costs will fall, your job opportunities will grow, because we will conduct the largest deportation operation, sadly, in American history. We have no choice. This is not sustainable. And we got to get the criminals out first. We're going to get the criminals, the murderers, the drug dealers. We're going to get them out of here first. And we're going to work with local police. They know everything about them. They know their names. They know their serial numbers. They know everything. Our local police are phenomenal. We just have to let them do their job. And starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again. We will have, ready? No tax on tips. No tax on overtime. And for our seniors who have been devastated by this Harris-Biden inflation that was so unnecessary, caused by energy, they let energy go through the roof. It caused it. And also their spending, but I say even more by energy. We're going to have this for our seniors. No tax on Social Security. They deserve it. They deserve it, what they've had to put up with. You know, the people with the tips, they're being tormented by this administration, too. They passed new legislation and have other legislation that was ready to go all of a sudden. How about her? She comes out a couple of weeks ago, months after I did, but there will be no tax on tips. But that's it. Nothing ever happened. Nothing ever happens with her, because if it did happen, she would have done it 3.5 years ago. That's what I say. And to finish, she lied about McDonald's. She lied. And she lied about almost everything else. And she doesn't understand a question, and she can't give an answer. If you watch Oprah, I knew Oprah very well. She loved me before politics. She was down at Mar-a-Lago. Donald, this is the most beautiful place I've ever seen. Can we have the funeral of Roger King? He was King World, great guy, great guy. Could we have the funeral at Mar-a-Lago? Yes, Oprah, you can. We had his funeral. He's the most important guy and one of the most important people in her life. She was the one that worked it out, but she was there a lot. She loved the key lime pie. I love that key lime pie. But once I ran for politics, it's like, I don't like that guy very much. No, I gave up a lot, but I don't mind giving it up, because we're going to make our country greater than ever before. And while working Americans catch up, we're going to put a temporary cap on credit card interest rates at 10%. We have no choice. They're getting 22, 25%. We can't let people have to pay 25% and 22% interest because they can't afford to pay off their credit card. We're going to cap it for a period of time at 10%. We will terminate the Green New scam and spend the trillions and trillions of dollars, of unspent dollars, on roads, bridges, real infrastructure, and paying down debt, not fake infrastructure that has caused massive inflation, along with the energy. That bill was just a disaster, just trillions of dollars. That's what caused all of the inflation, those two things. I will settle the war in Ukraine, and I will end the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent something that nobody else will be able to do. I will prevent World War III, and you are very close to World War III. Biden and Kamala got us into this war in Ukraine, and now they can't get us out. They can't get us out. I watched him. We will win, we will. He's been saying that for 3 years. Every time Zelensky comes to the United States, he walks away with $100 billion. I think he's the greatest salesman on earth. But we're stuck in that war unless I'm president. I'll get it done. I'll get it negotiated. I'll get out. We got to get out. Biden says, we will not leave until we win. What happens if they win? That's what they do, is they fight wars. As somebody told me the other day, they beat Hitler, they beat Napoleon. That's what they do, they fight. And it's not pleasant, but, you know, we've given them close to $300 billion. And you know what Europe has given them? Which is approximately our size when you add up the countries together. Their economy, it's very close to our size. They've given them like a small fraction of that number, just a small, very small fraction. And we have an ocean separating. It's much more important for Now, why aren't they? You know why they are? Because Biden has never even asked them. I guarantee you. Do you think Biden lies awake at night thinking, how are we going to get Europe to pay? No, he goes to sleep. Here's a guy can sleep on the beach. How do you sleep on the beach when you have cameras on? I will never sleep on the beach in front of live television, I promise. No, the other day he was out cold. I said, is he sleeping? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's a great thing. If you're able to sleep with live television going, somebody told him he looks great in a bathing suit. You know, when you're 82, it's never too pretty. And I love 82-year-olds, but when you're 82 in a bathing suit, I don't know, you know. But he actually was stone cold out. You got to give him credit, though, you know, because anybody that can do that, I find it very hard to sleep. I get so many ideas. I'm thinking all the time. This guy just goes out. Lies down, goes out, pictures of him. It's pretty sad when you think about it, right? We laugh, but it's sad. And nobody told us he was cognitively impaired. She didn't say it. She didn't say it. And that puts our country at great danger because President Xi is at the top of his game. All of these guys that we're competing against are all at the top of their game. He's not. He hasn't been for a long time. And that puts us at great risk and great danger. We will rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. And we will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. Because it's under tremendous siege right now. And if we lose that, then we are indeed a third world country. We cannot allow that to happen. We have so many enemies now. We have so many people. You know, I had no wars other than ISIS, which I inherited, and I finished off ISIS in 4 weeks instead of 5 years that they thought. Because we have a great military that I rebuilt. I rebuilt our military. Sadly, $85 billion of it went to Afghanistan. Can you believe that? Should have never happened. You take the soldiers out last. You don't take the soldiers out first. Took the soldiers out, and then after they took the soldiers out, the Taliban had a field day. What a horrible thing. We lost 13 great soldiers, many wounded so horribly, the legs, the arms, the face obliterated so badly. Nobody ever talks about them. They talk about those that were killed, and I love those families. I know the families. They've never even called the families. But they were 13 killed, great people. But we also left behind billions and